Good morning, everybody. I hope you have all finished your planning packet that goes with your Westward expansion research. So you should have a packet of stapled papers with sticky notes all on it that looks just like this. Now it's time to talk about the next step. Before we do that, I want you to think back on the chart in our room hanging on the wall called How to Make Writing Magical. We wrote this chart back when we were writing narrative stories, but it applies to what we're doing today too. Sometimes writers just need to focus and get the writing on the page. We may have said this before in Writer's Workshop, but you can't make your writing better until you have writing on the page. Once you've drafted, there is so much we can do to lift the quality of your writing and help you meet the standard or even exceed it. As you know, we oftentimes aim for the 6th grade standard. So today, your task is to look back over all of the topics and everything you've learned about Westward expansion, and I want you to use your packet of sticky notes organized into categories to help you to write a research report. So I need you to read the chart called Making Writing Magical and think about what parts of that chart apply, in this case, to informational writing. Then your goal is to completely draft the entire essay today, knowing that historians, which is what we're acting as today, historians use all of the artifacts and official documents and evidence that they've studied about the past to try to interpret the past events and think about the causes, think about the importance of these past events. They try to use the information that they have learned to help us and our future generations to perhaps solve current problems and avoid problems in the future. That's the job of a historian. And today we're acting as a historian. So in addition to writing to explain what you have learned, I want you to think about it from the perspective of a historian. What can we learn that could help us in today's world and in the future? How were those events from the past important? Now, as you write, I want you, but also before you write, I want you to consider your informational checklist as well, to think about what does the standard say that I will do. The standard always has information about overall structure and the lead and transitions and how you end with a conclusion that wraps up everything you were saying. The conclusion also expects that you will include a final point or thought for readers to consider. That would be a great place to try to include something about how the Westward expansion and the lessons of the past can help us in today's world. This will be a great way for you to lift the level of your essay or report very quickly and easily. Make sure you pay careful attention to the elaboration in the craft section. Just taking a look at this before you begin your draft. Because as you're drafting, I don't want you to worry and pester over all the tiny details. That's the work that we will do in our revision process. For today, your goal is to draft the entire essay. Draft so fast you make mistakes. Report on the research that you have spent many hours working on in class. Based on the plan that you created with sticky notes and stapled together on notebook paper, these would turn into your body paragraphs. So remember, in this process, choose only the information that is most important for you. You can't tell it all. You cannot include it all. So narrow it down. So in today's work period, the last half of it, I want you to refer to your plan, refer to your information writing checklist, and draft your entire essay or report. Key point report, so if you want to include some sort of heading or something, you may. Tomorrow, you will be removing this draft from the writing section of your binder, which is where you'll store it tonight, and I'll have more for you to do to lift the level of your work. So it's very important that today you get your draft completed. Writer's Right.